Hello and welcome. Today, we're taking a fascinating journey into the world of one of humanity's oldest and most beloved companions, the domestic cat. Sleek, mysterious, independent yet affectionate, cats have captured human hearts for thousands of years. But where did they come from? How did wild animals become cozy pets in our homes? Let's explore the amazing history of the domestic cat. The story of the domestic cat begins in the wild, in the Middle East, about 9,000 years ago. The ancestor of today's domestic cat is the African wildcat, Felis libica. These cats lived near human settlements, attracted by rodents that gathered around stored grain. Humans didn't domesticate cats in the traditional way. Instead, cats chose to stay close because it benefited them, and humans appreciated their hunting skills. Over time, a silent partnership formed. Cats kept the rodents away, and humans gave them space and safety. There was no need for force. It was mutual benefit and natural selection. Cats truly rose to fame in ancient Egypt around 4,000 years ago. Egyptians admired cats for their grace, hunting ability, and mysterious behavior. Cats were considered sacred animals, linked to the goddess Bastet, the goddess of home, fertility, and protection. People kept cats as pets, and harming a cat, even accidentally, could bring serious punishment. Some families even mummified their cats, burying them with honor. Temples were built for cats, and they appeared in many pieces of Egyptian art. Cats were no longer just rodent hunters. They were spiritual companions, protectors of homes, and symbols of elegance. As civilizations grew and trade expanded, cats traveled far beyond Egypt. They were brought to Europe, India, and China, mostly aboard ships to control rat populations. Sailors loved having cats on board. They were not only practical, but also seen as good luck. In ancient Rome, cats were respected, but they never had quite the same religious status as in Egypt. Still, they were appreciated for keeping homes and grain stores pest-free. By the time of the Middle Ages, cats had spread throughout Europe and Asia. But sadly, their reputation took a dark turn. During the Middle Ages, especially in Europe, cats were sometimes linked to witchcraft and evil spirits. Black cats, in particular, were feared and believed to be companions of witches or even witches in disguise. This led to persecution. Cats were killed in many towns, especially during events like the Black Plague, ironically, when they were most needed to control rats. Despite this dark period, many people still kept cats quietly as pets and protectors. Eventually, the superstitions faded and the love for cats re-emerged. The 18th and 19th centuries, as people's attitudes changed and pet keeping became more common, cats regained popularity. By the 1800s, cat breeds were being recognized, and cat shows began in places like England. The domestic cat became a symbol of comfort, independence, and quiet companionship. Today, cats are one of the most popular pets worldwide, with over 600 million domestic cats across the globe. From rural farms to city apartments, cats have adapted to nearly every human environment. So, the domestic cat, once a wild hunter of mice in ancient deserts, is now a beloved member of millions of households. From Egyptian temples to TikTok fame, their journey has been long, mysterious, and beautiful. Cats may walk alone, as the saying goes, but their paw prints are deeply embedded in human history. Thanks for joining this journey through time. Until next time, take care, and maybe give your cat an extra treat today. Cats arrived in China around 2,000 years ago. They were prized for their ability to protect valuable silk and books from rats. In Chinese art and poetry, cats symbolized peace and good fortune. In India, cats were also valued for controlling pests. Ancient Indian texts mention them as graceful creatures. Some folk tales even include cats as clever companions or mystical animals. Romans admired cats and considered them symbols of freedom. Cats were allowed to roam homes and temples freely. Roman soldiers even brought cats with them as they expanded the empire. In Norse mythology, the goddess Freya rode a chariot pulled by giant cats. Vikings respected cats, often gifting them to brides as a symbol of domestic life and fertility. Islamic history holds cats in high regard. Prophet Muhammad is said to have treated cats kindly. Stories say he cut his robe rather than disturb a sleeping cat. Clean and independent cats were welcomed in homes and mosques. During the age of exploration, cats became standard crew members on ships. They controlled vermin, comforted sailors, and were seen as omens of safety during sea voyages. Part 17. The Renaissance Era. The Renaissance saw a renewed interest in the natural world. Artists began portraying cats in paintings and sculptures, often showing them as elegant and intelligent pets in noble homes. Superstitions around black cats deepened in Europe. Some believed they brought bad luck. Others, especially sailors and in Scottish folklore, saw them as lucky. Beliefs varied wildly by region. Part 19. Cats and Witches. During witch trials, cats, especially black ones, were wrongly accused of being familiars of witches. Sadly, this led to mass killings of cats in many parts of Europe. Ironically, as people killed cats, rat populations exploded, worsening the spread of the Black Death. Historians believe that the decline in cats may have contributed to the pandemic's severity. Part 21. Rebirth of the cat's image. By the 17th and 18th centuries, cats slowly began to reclaim their image. As urban areas grew, their rodent hunting abilities were needed more than ever, and people noticed their charm again. Queen Victoria adored cats, helping make them fashionable pets. This era also saw the first pedigree cat breeds and the world's first organized cat show in London in 1871. Part 23. Scientific Naming and Study. In the 18th century, Swedish botanist Carl Linnaeus formally classified the domestic cat as Felis catus. Scientists began studying feline behavior, evolution, and genetics. In the late 1800s, the Cat Fanciers Association, CFA, and other breed organizations were formed. Breeds like the Persian, Siamese, and Maine Coon gained popularity through shows and magazines. Part 25. Cats in World War I and II. During both World Wars, cats served as war mascots and rat catchers in trenches and ships. Soldiers wrote fondly of their feline companions who boosted morale during hard times. By the 20th century, urbanization and modern homes shifted cats indoors. Litter boxes, cat toys, and scratching posts were invented, transforming cats into full-time indoor companions. Part 27. The Psychology of Cats. Modern science explores how cats think. Unlike dogs, cats form subtle social bonds, understand routines, and even recognize human emotions, though they often express affection in unique ways. With the rise of the internet, cats took over memes, YouTube, and social media. Famous cats like Grumpy Cat, Lil Bub, and Maru brought joy to millions, becoming cultural icons. Part 29. Cats in Popular Culture. From Garfield and Tom, of Tom and Jerry, to Hello Kitty and Puss in Boots, cats have become stars in literature, cartoons, and films, often portrayed as clever, funny, or mysterious. Today, cats are more than pets. They are companions, stress relievers, and even therapy animals. Their purring has been linked to healing, and their presence comforts people in lonely or stressful times. Unlike dogs, cats were not domesticated through selective breeding at first. They domesticated themselves, adapting to human life while keeping their independence. This makes their domestication path unique. Part 32. Cats in Japan. Cats arrived in Japan around 500 AD. They were celebrated in poetry and art. The famous Maneki Neko, beckoning cat, became a lucky charm symbolizing prosperity and good fortune. The elegant Siamese cat, originating in Thailand, formerly Siam, was considered sacred. In the 1800s, they were gifted to diplomats and royalty, becoming one of the first exotic breeds in the West. Part 34. The Persian cat's popularity. Persian cats, known for their long fur and gentle temperament, became fashionable in Europe in the 1600s. Queen Victoria's fondness for Persians helped boost their fame worldwide. The Maine Coon, one of the oldest American breeds, developed naturally in the harsh winters of the northeastern U.S. Known for size and friendliness, it remains a favorite. Part 36. Cat breeds and genetic diversity. There are over 70 recognized cat breeds today, from hairless Sphinx cats to fluffy ragdolls. Despite this variety, all domestic cats trace back to the African wildcat, showing low genetic variation. Even the tamest house cat retains its wild instincts, stalking, pouncing, and hunting. Toys like feathers and lasers mimic prey behavior and satisfy their deep-rooted instincts. Part 38. Why cats? Purr. Purring isn't just a sign of happiness. Studies suggest cats also purr when stressed or injured, possibly to heal themselves, as the vibration frequency promotes tissue regeneration. Besides Bastet in Egypt, cats were also linked to goddesses in other cultures. Like Li Shou in Chinese folklore or Artemis in Greece, they were symbols of the moon, mystery, and femininity. Part 40. Cats and Literature. From T.S. Eliot's Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats to Edgar Allan Poe's The Black Cat, felines have inspired writers for centuries as symbols of mystery, elegance, and mischief. Cats were often believed to sense ghosts, evil spirits, or bad omens. In many cultures, a cat staring at a wall or reacting to nothing was thought to indicate a spirit's presence. Part 42. Cats in medieval manuscripts. Monks in medieval Europe often worked alongside cats. In some ancient manuscripts, you can even see paw prints, left by cats who walked across fresh ink. Though medieval fears have faded, cats, especially black ones, are still associated with modern Wiccan and pagan rituals, often symbolizing intuition, protection, and shadow energy. Part 44. Feral cats and colonization. As humans explored and colonized the globe, they brought cats with them, which sometimes created ecological problems. In places like Australia, feral cats are now a threat to native species. Modern cities have adapted to cats. Rooftops, balconies, and windowsills are favorite spots. Some cities even have cat cafes, where people sip coffee while relaxing with friendly felines. Part 46. Therapy cats and emotional support. Cats are now recognized for their emotional support. Some visit hospitals, care homes, and even schools, reducing anxiety and offering comfort with their calm presence. Cats use body language, vocal tones, and blinking to communicate. That slow blink? It's known as a cat kiss, showing trust and affection. Part 48. Global cat celebrations. Many cultures celebrate cats. International Cat Day, August 8th, National Cat Day, varies by country, and even entire festivals in Japan and Italy are dedicated to honoring felines. Today, millions of street cats live without homes. Organizations worldwide now rescue, neuter, and rehome cats, promoting humane care and population control. Part 50. The future of cats and humans. With smart litter boxes, cat translation apps, and even feline genetics being decoded, the future of cats is evolving. But one thing remains: our ancient bond of quiet companionship. Unlike dogs, cats were not domesticated through selective breeding at first. They domesticated themselves, adapting to human life while keeping their independence. This makes their domestication path unique. Cats arrived in Japan around 500 AD. They were celebrated in poetry and art. The famous Maneki Neko, beckoning cat, became a lucky charm symbolizing prosperity and good fortune. Part 33. The Siamese cat's journey. The elegant Siamese cat, originating in Thailand, formerly Siam, was considered sacred. In the 1800s, they were gifted to diplomats and royalty, becoming one of the first exotic breeds in the West. The Maine Coon, one of the oldest American breeds, developed naturally in the harsh winters of the northeastern U.S. Known for size and friendliness, it remains a favorite. Part 36. Cat breeds and genetic diversity. There are over 70 recognized cat breeds today, from hairless Sphinx cats to fluffy ragdolls. Despite this variety, all domestic cats trace back to the African wildcat, showing low genetic variation. Even the tamest house cat retains its wild instincts, stalking, pouncing, and hunting.